Hello, this is Mr. Gentry, and we're going to start with our second video for E-Day assignment number 3, doing an introduction to organic chemistry, naming organic compounds such as functional groups. We're going to continue with the same standards as the last video, and our goals for today is to name basic organic structural groups. What we're going to look at are the IUPAC rules for naming. We're not going to go through every single word on here, but we're going to focus on a few of the main functional groups. What I want you guys to know for this lesson is 3 main functional groups. If you'd like, you can go through and the slides and actually learn some of the rules, especially if you're thinking about going on to AP Chemistry or going on to do some science-related chemistry or chemistry major, engineering, or pre-med, because organic chemistry is a big part of that. You can go ahead and review some of these others. I would actually make note cards to go through and learn these different functional groups and the naming. There's 3 that we really need to know for Chem 1, and those are alcohols. You actually have a problem on your E-Day assignment for ketones, and then we need to know our acid groups. Alright, so one of the key things that you want to look for is these functional groups. So what we're looking for alcohols is this OH group by itself on a carbon chain. So if you want to name the parent carbon, again, we 1, 2, 3, find the number of carbons, and then since there's no double or triple bonds, we'd say this is propane. And since there's an alcohol group, or an OH, we would say this is propanol, as it says here. Alright, the next group that we're looking for is a ketone. That's where again, we're naming the number of carbons, 1, 2, 3. So that's a propane, since there's no double or triple bonds. And on a ketone, you have a carbon with a double bond to an oxygen between 2 carbons. So you're always looking for a carbon, carbon at least, and it doesn't matter what's on each side of those. So that is a ketone. This is actually a common one. This is acetone or nail polish remover, but the IUPAC name for it is propanone. So because there's 3 carbons, propane, and then we drop the A-N-E and put O-N-E on there. Alright, the other functional group that you have to recognize is something called a carboxylic acid. Let me write this out. Carboxylic acid. These are organic acids. These look very similar. They're kind of a cross between ketone and alcohol. They have an OH group and a double bonded O bonded to the same carbon. Alright, and then the same rules apply. You name by the number of carbons. So 1, 2, so this is ethane. We drop that because we have a carboxylic acid, and we put ethanoic acid. This is a common acid that you guys probably deal with on a regular basis. This is vinegar or acetic acid, the common name, but the IUPAC rule would be ethanoic acid. Alright, these are the 3 that you need on this page. We have one more for our 4th functional group that I think is very important. And especially if you're going to go on to AP Biology or even organic chemistry later in your life, is the amine group. So we're going to look at that, the amine group right here. An amine is anything that has an NH2. Sometimes it's also in its reduced form where it has a NH3, so this is that amine group, and it's on the end of a carbon chain, and we use the same rule. So 1, 2, 3, so that's a propane, but since it's an amine, we say propylamine, so that would be that group. One of the main reasons to know this is biochemistry, organic chemistry, biology in general. Proteins, such as amino acids, the building block of proteins, have these groups. What you'll often see is a carbon in the middle with a carboxylic acid. So this is why they're called acids, is because they have this carboxylic acid. And the amine part comes from this amino part on the end. So we call these amino for the amine group, acids for the carboxylic acid. And this can be a methane down here, a methyl group, all the way to some really complex functional groups. Usually we put the generic R for functional group on here, and there's 20 different ones in the human body that make up all the proteins of our body. So there's 20 different functional groups in proteins that make up the different amino acids, but the overall structure is the same. You have the amino group, the acid group, with the carbon that's bonded to that central functional group. So if you're planning on being a doctor or nurse, plan on memorizing later on those structures and being able to draw them out from memory for organic or biochemistry later on. All right, so let's do a quick review. Again, one of the main things that we're looking for is that the functional groups, alcohols are common, so OH, we count the number of carbons, 1, 2, 3. This is a propane. We drop the E, put propanol. So this is 1, 2, 3 carbons with the OH group on there. Don't need to know esters for this class, so let's do some practice. If we're going to look at each of these different carbons or carbon chains and try and identify the groups. We're also reviewing some of from the last video. So what you want to do is either pause and try and name these on your own, or you can stick with me and we'll go through it. So right here we have the circle functional group as a COO with the OH. So this is a carboxylic acid. Oops, there it goes. Carboxylic acid. And if you are a superstar, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. So remember, my mother eats peanut butter, so 4 would be butanoic acid. All right, this one is an amine group. And again, you want to name the number of carbons, so there's 1, so this would be methylamine. This is an alkyne. Oops, it helps if you can spell alkyne. So we have 1, 2, 3. Remember, we want the lowest carbon to be the triple bond. So this would be, remember, mother eats peanut butter. So this would be 1 propyne. And then here we have fully saturated hydrocarbon, so that's an alkane, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be butane. Mother eats peanut butter, so this is the 4th one, so butane. I hope this practice was helpful, and please contact us if you have any questions. There's 4 different chemistry teachers in this hallway, so make sure you guys ask for help or read the chapter or do the practice. I hope you have fun with the E-Day assignment.